Hi, everyone. It's Tracy Malone from NarcissistAbuseSupport.com. Got an interesting topic for those who are divorcing a narcissist today that I hear all the time is the narcissist will not produce the paperwork to get divorced. And that gives you cognitive dissonance. Like they wanted the divorce, they've got a new hooker. So why are they not giving you any paperwork? Like if you want it over with, then give the paperwork and it can end very quickly. And they'd want to save money on the divorce, which they always claim, then don't make me put my lawyer back and forth 80 times so that we're just asking for the paperwork you need to give us, right? So, it's confusing. But narcissists don't play fair. Again, they want this, they don't want a fair settlement. They don't want to hand in the paperwork. If they do, there's a risk they'll lose more. So by not handing it in, they think that the court's not going to make them. Eventually, most courts do. They want to torture you. They want to have you have such high legal bills that you finally surrender and stop asking for the statements and just settle for whatever they decided was nice enough to be offered to you. So let's take a few different categories today. Number one, we're going to talk about taxes. And, suddenly you had accountants that were your family accountant, or they've been doing your taxes for the whole time you were married, and they were allies, they were friends. You probably did all the phone calling and coordinating, and now they are absolutely dead spot, never going to give you the tax returns. And I had that happen and had a nice little spat with the family accountant who refused to give them to me. So they refused because if it came to me when they didn't disclose any paperwork in the first place, that would end up in the court. So you got to look at their method for all of this, right? It's of course they're going to do it. They are just jerks and they think that they won't, if they don't do it, we'll just go away and say, it's okay. We don't need to see the facts. Now, all right. So the taxes are not being given to you, right? So the first thing that normally happens when you are dealing with a lawyer and you're going to have your lawyer ask nicely. So that means they're sending an email to their team, to their law team, and saying, we are waiting. We've asked you before, please give us your tax returns. Please, we're looking for this, please, please. And, that can go on as a game quite a lot, right? That costs you money. Every time you have to do that to get the tax returns and fight, and then we move into the next level of things, which is motions to compel, motion to comply, eventually maybe a motion of contempt, but that never really works so well in a divorce and family courts. So here's what you do. If they will not give you tax returns, call the IRS, go on the irs.gov website. I'm not sure what you have to prove, but you have a right to your tax return, even though they're on it. So you can call the IRS, you can go to their website, and you can request the copies that you need. I was told recently by someone that they were able to access it almost instantly and get what they needed. So those work for, joint tax returns. If they filed separately, that's a different game. If you are married filing separately, that's a different game. You don't have the right to go to the IRS and ask for them. We have other options, however, right? So if they have businesses too, you want those tax returns. Those are essential. Do not go to mediation or settle your case unless you know what their business is worth, which means you need some of the tax documents, right? So those are some of the things you can do. We're going to go right to the IRS and get them solved. No $500 for this lawyer to send another letter, to, you're going to save money. Just do it. If you see that they are non-compliant, just, all right, you know what? I'm not waiting for you. Let me get that. And then your financial team can start to develop the numbers that you need. You're going to be ahead of the game because of it, right? Bank statements. Oh boy. My ex was in contempt 6 out of 7 trials for never giving any paperwork. Any paperwork. And every time we'd go back to court, the judge would say, bring it next month or you're going to go to jail, sir. Nothing ever happens. Now I know that really is true. Most judges do not enforce those kind of contempt of court things in a family court situation. But let's go with the subpoena to the rescue, right? you can have your lawyer do the flippity flop. Can we please get your statements? Can we please get your all that game? Or you have your lawyer save time, quit the asking game, and go right for a subpoena to the bank. Right. So the bank is Chase. We're going to send Chase a subpoena with the proper legal things that say, here's what we're entitled to. This is your joint accounts, and we would like these statements and these things, and you can get them, right? You can also just go to, sorry, I think I screwed that up. You can go to the bank if it's a joint account and get the statements if you need them. If it is an account that is disclosed that's theirs and they're not giving you statements, like their own account, that's when the subpoena power comes in, right? Sorry, I screwed that up. So you can also ask something for a blanket subpoena. And again, you don't know where their money's hidden, you don't know what's going on. But if you know, again, we'll use the Chase example, you know that you've always banked at Chase, but then you get the Chase statements that you've requested, and all of a sudden you're seeing, wow, there's something going to Wells Fargo every month. What's that? And it looks like I'm making a credit card payment. What's that, right? Then you follow the paper trail and we say, okay, now there's a Wells Fargo account that you haven't disclosed. We see it here. Could we please see the statements for that? And if they refuse to give you those, that's when we subpoena them. I hope that didn't confuse you. Sorry. Let's go into the retirement accounts, because this one is always another fragile thing, right? We just go right to the source. And if you have the tax returns, you might be able to see some of the investments and some of the entities that you might have to subpoena. Again, if they're not going to give you the records to, Wells Fargo, not Wells Fargo, but an investment brokerage account, they're not going to give you that. Under this, you can subpoena them. You can ask for the paperwork for those records. And the other thing that you need to know is there's something called interrogatories. Interrogatories are like extra on top of discovery requests for information. So in those interrogatories, you could be asking for their one-on-one, personal bank account or their business line. You can ask until you turn blue. But if you can find a way to stop the flip-flop, let's ask, be nice, can we have another ask? Just get to the point and say, this one we could subpoena. Let's go for that. Let's ask for this, right? You're probably never going to find all the hidden money that a narcissist has, but those things, tax returns, statements, and retirement things can get to you without involving the lawyer game and the costs that you might incur. This is Tracy Malone, the author of Divorcing Your Narcissist. You can't make this shit up. There it is on the shelf. If you are going through a divorce with a narcissist, the book will help you. I also coach people all over the world, and I am happy to guide you through some of the questions that you might have. So I will see you again next time.